Okay, take number 4. For whatever reason, that's never happened before, but they're whatever. I don't know if they're targeting my technology, whatever. I'm not even going to put any energy into that. We're just going to redo. Okay. So, the moon was in Virgo yesterday and the day before. Maybe 3 days, but I know yesterday and the day before because yesterday I was like, I have my little hat on because I still have bedhead, so because I got very angry with the chemtrails and all I kept seeing were animals, the water, little ladies, women carrying their brand new newborn babies, and people walking their dogs. I was just like, all I could see was how much is being affected. It wasn't even about me. It was the anger of and innocent animals and children and the water. What does the water have a contract to? Did they sign up for this contract? But I don't understand that. No, so I was getting mad at God. I came home. I was pretty enraged because it was just a short trip, walk to the grocery store and back. I mean, X's in the sky. I didn't even record it because I'm just like, I'm too mad to even. I don't even know. No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm pissed today. I told God F off. I said, team, all you benevolent, whatever, F you, F you. I said, I'm like, Archangel Michael, I almost said that. I'm like, no, actually, you're cool. You can stay. You're the only one I like right now. I'm like, no, actually, F you too. I'm like, wait, no, because Archangel Michael is pretty much like Jesus, and then Jesus is the embodiment of God in the flesh. I'm like, okay, later I took it back. I'm like, sorry, I take it all back. But I guess that was written in my contract, so God knew it was coming, whatever. So usually when I get that angry, I cry because that's what you have to do. Way up here, way down there, and then you cry, balance it out, purge it. Okay, so crying is a really good way to purge. So I guess I needed to do that. But it stemmed from this deep anger, okay? And it was very analytical, like seeing everything analyzed. Okay, so I was like, man, once the tears came, I'm like, is the moon in Cancer or something? Because my moon is in Cancer. Cancer is ruled by the moon, so whenever the moon's in Cancer, I usually cry. And so, no, the moon was in Virgo. I'm like, okay, that makes even more sense because I felt this rage and then depression. And that can happen with Virgo because they're so analytical that can take you out of the now really easily, because analyzing something has to do with past or what's coming up in the future, so you're out of the now. So it can be very polar, like anger, depression, anger, depression, anger, depression. Thank God the moon's in Libra now, and it'll be there today and tomorrow, maybe another day, I'm not sure, but 2 or 3 days in each sign for the moon. So we're feeling like more leveled out emotionally. It's very interesting that I was feeling because it felt like I'm doing stuff that I did a long time ago that I know no longer serves me, so I don't do it anymore. Like telling people, like divulging stuff. I was talking to a worker. I was talking to a person in customer service Walmart because they messed up my order and everything. But it's like they weren't hearing it. I'm like, okay. So my twin, I feel, and people were kind of like rushing me to, even though it said crosswalk, walk, and they were like rushing me and stuff. I'm like, ooh, one woman, I turned around, I'm like, don't you fucking rush me, bitch. But she probably didn't hear me because the windows were up. But I was just done with people. I mean, they have this freeway mentality right where this intersection where I cross. It's like a lot of people have this freeway mentality because they're just about to get on the freeway. So they're in a rush. But what happens is they try to block me and there's always a red light right before they get. So it's just like people are rushing and hurrying you to ultimately come to a block and have to wait. So it doesn't even make sense, right? But like I'm always walking. I'm never in my car. And a lot of people, they turn into a different person. They get in their car. They get into this fast-paced, gotta have it now, get there as quick as possible kind of mentality. And I don't have that. I never have. I'm not saying that I haven't had that ever in my life. I'm just saying is these big energies like being in a car, all the unnatural stuff that keeps us in this 3D matrix, okay, and driving. I see the juxtaposition so much between someone who's walking and someone who's in a car. And even when those people are walking and not in the car, they have a different energy and mentality. See, it's the same person, but okay, it's just, are they participating in the duality, the matrix? Okay, when you're in a car, it's very much the matrix. And think about it, roads, highways, lights. Okay, it's very grid matrix. Okay, so people were kind of rushing me. I wasn't feeling heard by people, and I'm like, this feels like old shit. And a lot of feminines are going through that right now. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I gotta check the moon, because once I started crying, I'm like, I fucking better not be in Cancer. I mean, it would figure if it's in Cancer right now, but it was in Virgo. So that made even more sense. And so my twin was feeling very angry and depressed over not being heard and validated. No one, even people that he thought that he can confide in and would understand and be receptive and listen and give some compassion or something, some kind of he was just being blocked. Nope, nobody wants to hear it. Not only that, but they're trying to rush you along, like, just, okay, so a lot of anger and depression feelings came up. So, and because my twin's a Virgo and the moon was in Virgo, that makes sense that I was feeling his energies. Thank God it's in Libra now. We're balancing out, because yeah, I felt like I was rage and depression yesterday, like severe extremes. Okay. So since this was like the fourth time I tried to record this, and interestingly enough, I was watching someone's, just checking to make sure she's okay. I don't usually watch readers per se, unless I feel like a deep soul tribe connection with you. And that's just to hear my family's voice or see their face, or, like one of my brothers out here, some of his videos are like 3 hours long, but it's just like chilling with my family. So it doesn't even really matter what he's talking about. I just feel like, okay, you need that connection. Okay. So, she had only posted 3 videos, and the second 2 were Cancer and Pisces. My moon's in Cancer, his is in Pisces. So the Devil card and the Strength card, or Lust, in that particular deck, which I have as well, which I use for all my zodiacs this month, monthly zodiac readings for June. The Devil card and the Strength card, which is Lust. Okay, I'm Capricorn, the Devil card. He's Leo rising, and my son's a double Leo. We all have the same name, blah, blah, blah. That's the Strength card. In his reading, because I was watching both of our moon signs, and it just so happened that Cancer and Pisces, those were like the only 2, besides Aries, I think. They both got Capricorn and Strength, which that's what the Devil's there. It's not there to just like keep you down, tie you down, unless you allow for it, and then the Devil will have fun with you. Because, those lower vibrational energies love torture and all. That's why those, okay, I'm not going to get into like serial killers and psychopaths, because they're such low vibrational energy. That's why they get off on people being in pain. Okay. So the Pisces reading, okay, so, and I also had the 4 of Pentacles. Okay, but the Pisces reading, depression came up, and then these 3 cards that came out together, which was like, I forget all of them, but one was growth and one was removal and growth. Like, and she said something about a growth being removed, having to go get it examined, and a growth removed. Okay, I just spoke about that maybe only one other time, and I doubt my twin's even watching my videos, but even if he's not, which he probably isn't, I could pretty much guarantee that he's still getting the energy of what I'm going through, and I'm getting the energy of what he's going through, because it's those cores of aligned. It's like I experience something, he instantly feels it too, even if he's not aware of that it's lumps and it made me angry and depressed. And okay, so I'm feeling his stuff, anger, depression, but it's happening differently. He's not feeling heard because the experience I was having, like being rushed and then not being heard, no one having any compassion or patience for you whatsoever. It's a lot of extreme anger and depression coming from that. So my experience of what I'm going through, okay, same volatile energies, he's feeling it in his experience and feeling mine, even though he doesn't know exactly what's happening with me. I don't know exactly what's happening with him, but I'm feeling it in my own way. So the experiences might appear differently, sound differently, taste, touch, differently in the 3D, but the same core wounds are coming up. So let me just show you. I just did a random card pull. Now the cards are all messed up. This is like the 5th time fourth time I'm trying to record it. What flipped out was, let's see. It was the, what was it? It was the 5 of Swords. Oh, these right here. So these flipped around, and then this was in my hand. So this 9 of Wands, heavy, 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 okay? And it comes from this push or pull of this 5 of Swords energy. So it's like this dude, he's getting told by this dude to kick rocks. Maybe he shagged his old lady or something, whatever. So he's pushing, okay, blame, and he's pulling shame from him. So it's the same energy. When it's a push, it's blame. When it's a pull, it's shame. So this mental struggle of this push or pull, shame or blame energy is going on. But it has to happen for you to examine in order to come more and more fully embodied into your own inner oneness. Okay, this is the most balanced night. Okay, it's forward progressing because on a horse, it's night, it moves forward, but in a very balanced way, so that you can hold this golden coin, this offering of this golden coin, very steady and up high. Okay, so that's like letting your spirit guide you, that golden Christ consciousness. And when you're guided by that, you use any interruption you transmute it, and it just makes you stronger. Okay, more balance. That sounds crazy, but this is how it works, because you learn how to master energies by going through this thing. And it starts with the thought, 5 of Swords. And I can't really tell what this is, but it looks kind of like a golden crown around a heart, maybe, that is kind of misshapen or has some wings, or what. It kind of looks like a heart and a golden crown around it. So this protection of this golden crown around this distorted heart, okay? Because as we're healing our hearts, God's protecting us, okay? It's a heavy burden, okay? The Devil card and the Strength card. But we face our dark shit, okay? Ultimately, the result is this, the balance. And I know that balance was the answer, because this was at the bottom when those flipped over. And that's that tangible balance in your physical reality, in your body, in your temple, your environment, your home, your finances, everything balanced, okay? So it's all a journey, of learning how to, this was right behind it, learning how to go with the flow and walk away from the things that no longer serve you. And really it's those thoughts that are keeping you tied to the things that no longer serve you. So you release those thoughts, those belief systems, those ties, attachments you have to those thoughts that keep you stuck. Okay, once you release those, and this is the wild unknown, like uncharted, okay, this is the water. We don't know where it ends up, but it all ends up in a good place. So it doesn't just go with the flow, even though we don't know exactly where it's going to carry us. Okay, we go with the flow because we know we can't stay stuck here in our mind. So, and then right behind that there's the Hermit, there's our Virgo, okay, Virgo moon. And that's also a 9, okay, that's, we don't want to have this heavy burden, and it comes from being able to release those thoughts that keep us weighed down, okay? Our thoughts are the things that keep us weighed down. And then behind that, Temperance, balance, again. Or the Death card actually was behind... This was behind the Six of Swords, I believe. But again, you see, there's a little golden crown right there. So, you know, the cutting away of the things that no longer serve us, that's what this death is. Ego death, shamanic death. It's the death dance, okay? It's all about balance. We have to let those things die that keep us stuck and don't allow us to come fully, more and more fully into alignment with ourselves, that balance, the oneness within, which then expresses itself outwardly. You know, if we don't have that golden crown, that Christ consciousness, we won't have that balance. We won't be able to get through these transformations of death and rebirth. They're very painful. So, in the reading I did, was it last night, on the side of the Divine Masculine, they had the Knight of Pentacles on his side of the cross, okay, next to the core. He had the Knight of Pentacles, and then he had 9 of Swords, Judgment, which is healing. My side had the 5 of Swords, 7 of Swords was at the foundation. So that 5, 7, and 9 of Swords, okay, that energy is there to help us heal. Okay, it has to come up, and it comes up in our thoughts first, but it comes up there for a reason, for us to heal it, so that we can come more and more into balance and alignment with ourselves and have that inner alchemy. Because that's how we save the world, by saving ourselves. And we co-create that, co-manifest that with God. And it's already written. It's part of our destiny. It's written in your chart, the stars, everything. Okay, so this process, it's not really evolution. It's just coming back to your true original self. No templates and distortions and belief systems that are false. But the devil's tricky. That's why so many people believe so many different religious things, is because there are lies mixed with truth. So you get them on board with the truths, and then you can feed them all these lies because now you've gained their trust. Okay, just like what a drug dealer does with, like, you know, the first time, get them hooked. You know, give them the first sample for free, get them hooked, and then you, right? Kind of like that energy is how I view organized religion. So, if you feel like old stuff is coming up for you, and it feels like you're like in a play, like that you've rehearsed and you know the lines, and you're like, but obviously you're having an emotional, mental, and stuff response to it, because, you know, that's what's going on with your twin. So if it feels like it's a repeat, like DeJaVu, Purge, then it's probably something that your twin is going through. That, okay, we're aligned core, so we're going to feel it, and you're going to see it expressed in your own reality in order for you to feel it. Okay, so just remember, we're mirroring each other, so it may not be exactly in the 3D, okay, but in the higher realms, it is the same energies that we're pushing and pulling, okay? So for me, it was fury and depression. because extreme anger brings the extreme opposite, extreme sadness, okay? So, if you were just feeling that, it was probably because of the Virgo moon, and we're analyzing, okay, we're not being in the now. Now it's Libra. Now we're trying to be in the now and be that balance. So that's very much the center that holds the two scales. Okay, that's where we want to be. And, you know, it's air. Libra is very air. So we can kind of, our emotions, the scales are they're just in the air. They're not being pulled down by gravity or whatever. So, you know, if a little tweak happens over here, a little tweak has to happen over here, and it'll happen quickly because it's Libra moon. So it's air, it just goes like that. So it might feel like a little mini bipolarity because you're not going to the extremes, because one little thing happens here, boom, you equal it out, balance it out with a quick little like knee-jerk reaction to, oh, gets up here too much, oh, okay, oh. So it's not going to be like extremes, like, whoa, way over here, we got to balance it out with a whoa, way over here. It's going to be closer to the core. Okay, so the balancing is going to have more to do with your core essence and not outside influences. Okay, so your truth aligning with God, source, creator, and that's what justice, the scales, and it's all about. It's just pure light, pure information straight from God, not looking at anything in the 3D to affect that. So we're not, 3D makes us go, whoa, okay? When we're more etheric, we're more just like, okay, boom, okay, balance, boom, boom, okay, and it's air, Libra's air, so it can happen real quickly. But like I said, the scales, they're attached to the core. So, if you feel something coming up, your automatic reaction is going to be nip it in the bud. That's kind of like the energy of nip. It's not the extremes, okay? It's nip to maintain the balance. Whereas Gemini, okay, and we're in Gemini energy right now, they're all the extreme this way and everything in between, then all the extreme that way and everything in between to get back to center. Whereas Libra is more, oh, a little bit out, boop, oh, well, what do we got to do to balance it back out? Oh, it's getting off a little bit, whoop. Okay, so it's not that Libra's always in balance, but they're always focused on maintaining that balance. Okay, so bud nipping energy is like boom. So we're not going to feel too much that extreme radical bipolarity. Okay, then the moon's going to get into Scorpio after Libra, I believe. So that's kind of going to be like the Virgo energy, analytical, but it's a water sign. Scorpio's a water sign, so there might be a little bit more emotional response to what you discover or uncover, okay? Self-discovery, whatever, about the world, whatever. So Scorpio is very much kind of like Virgo in that way, detective, analytical, okay? They're like digging for the truth, whereas Virgo sees everything already presented to them and then analyzes that and see how it all makes sense together. Whereas Scorpio's kind of like, fuck all this shit's bullshit. I'm going to search for the truth myself. Okay. So it's kind of the same, similar energies. But like I said, when the moon's in a water sign, there might be more volatile emotional responses to things. So appreciate this Libra time. I know I will. I hope that at least one person got at least one thing from this message. And yeah, just remember our cores are aligned, so we're going to be feeling our twin, and what we experience manifested in the 3D may not look exactly like the situation they're going through, but it's the same energies that we're pushing and pulling in order to stay in core, in center, okay, because that's where the twins are. Their cores are aligned now. It's the Vesica Pisces. Okay, we're right there in the middle. Hello! That's where we are. Okay? Right here in the middle there. So that's what we're trying to maintain and sustain right now. So as we work through these energies, it's all going to be applied to that homeostasis, that center core alignment. Okay, it's like fused right now. Okay, the Vesca Pisces. We have our individualities over here. Okay, those extremes, but the center core is aligned. Okay, and so like I said, if you have these deja vu processes, emotions that coming up for you, and you're just like, why am I emotionally responding to this? And because I've already been through this and worked this out, I'm like the bud nipper when it comes to this shit now. It's because you're twin, okay? But you have to emotionally feel what they're feeling in their reality. So I'm an earth sign, and so is my twin. So it will manifest physically. Okay, so if you're water sign, it may not manifest in the physical reality for you to have an emotional response, okay? Or if you're an air sign, it might manifest mentally. Okay, so it all just depends, like, we're earth signs. So physically something will manifest in my reality to trigger me into those emotions, okay? With the clairsentient, so it's just, that's just my process and how it works for me. If you're a different sign, water, fire, it might manifest differently. So just know that's the energies we're going through, or that we just went through. Now we're in Libra, okay, and then it's going to go into Scorpio, and then Sag, which is like, oh, thank God, relief. The fun fire, right? My rising Sag, so we love the fun fire. Friendly fire. So we're gonna leave it at that. I went a little bit long. The last one I did was 30 minutes, so but the audio was so, but I tested recording a couple times before this one and it worked fine. So I hope this one works fine. If not, it is what it is. So I love you guys. Peace and blessings. All right.